Go on, here we go. Your full name is Marshall
Lewis.
Okay. Today I'm introducing Marshall Lewis, who is a regular visitor to Australia to play in our tournaments. Marshall, what brings you all the way from the States to play here?
Well, a good friend of mine asked me 7 or 8 years ago if I'd like to try and play this. He's British. And I said, sure. I'd been wanting to come to this tournament for a very long time. I'd heard all kinds of great things about it from many different people, Paul Marsden, Ish Del Monte, and so on. And I have many friends here in Australia, chief among them Anne Lamport, who's here in Queensland. And so I decided to do it. And then there was no stopping me coming back because it's a great, great tournament.
So how much do you play in America? Do you play in the major tournaments in America?
I don't actually live in America anymore. I moved to Croatia about 10 years ago.
Yep.
So I do go back to the States quite a bit. I go to all 3 of the NABCs, our major tournaments. So all told, I spend about going on 3 months each year in the U.S., but the rest of the time I'm living in Zagreb, Croatia.
And how would you compare the major NABC conferences in America with ours here?
Well, this one's more laid back. It's very, very big, but it's very laid back, and it's a lot of fun. In America, they're very intense and overwhelming. I love those tournaments too, but this is more relaxing.
Okay. And who do you play with when you come here?
The last several years I've been playing with Maurits van der Vliet, and in the pairs and in the teams. And last few years our teammates have been Kim Morrison and Chris Hughes, and we've made it into the round of 6 each of those years. But then apparently we have just rested on our laurels and made a graceful exit after that.
And in general, is there much difference to the way bridge is played in the two countries, do you think?
Well, I mean, the major approaches to bidding are pretty much the same. One very notable difference is how the bidding is done, just physically, with these little pads of paper, because there's nothing like that in America. We just use bidding boxes.
Okay.
So we use bidding boxes with the screens today, of course, but during the main pairs and the main teams, recording your bids on a piece of paper, it has some advantages, some disadvantages. And in terms of just the physical logistics, that's the biggest difference.
And what system do you use?
I almost always play pretty generic 2-over-1 game, 4s, 5-card majors.
So, and that's your favourite. So, are there systems that you don't like that the opposition play, or you think are a waste of time for our club members who are wanting to get better?
You know, a lot of it is just what you're comfortable with. I used to play a forcing club for, I don't know, about 20 years. That was a good system when you didn't open a club. And it could also, they have the 1 diamond opening bid, which is kind of a catch-all minimum opening, and that's problematic because it doesn't really promise diamonds. I'm a big believer in structuring your system, but also your style, so you bid what you have at the earliest possible opportunity. You need to find your fits early, and you need to give partner a good idea of a lead that you would welcome.
Okay. And do you play in Canberra when you come out here?
I have never played anywhere in Australia except here.
Next time you come out here, we want you to play in January in Canberra, and then you can stay in Australia and play in this tournament after that.
It's a great plan. I do have some conflicts sometimes with tournaments elsewhere, but that's also been on my agenda for a long time, to play in both the Canberra tournament and this one.
And have you got to play against any of the famous players in the world?
Oh, sure. I mean, I play in the European Championship on a regular basis since I moved to Croatia. And at the NABCs in America, of course, we have lots of top Europeans coming over to play professionally on teams. So, yeah, I've played against a lot of them, and even some of them are close friends of mine.
So have you got to play against Mexstroth and Rodwell at all? Or?
I grew up with Mexstroth and Rodwell.
Did you?
We're all from the same area of the United States. Eric, who's just down the road from me in Indiana, and Jeff across the border in Ohio. So yeah, we all started playing about the same time.
And Zia, how do you find him?
Oh, Zia's great. He's great for the game. He's, larger than life, hilarious. And he'll always be in my good book because one day he was walking by my table and he said to my partner, "Don't worry about a thing. He's a one-man army."
Absolutely. Look, we're very pleased to have you here in Australia. We hope you will come back regularly in the future. And, this year we've missed out on 240 New Zealanders, for example,
Sure.
because of the COVID, etc. So our numbers are well down, but hopefully next year they will be back here. And we normally get about 20 or 30 other international players who come out here.
Yes, only a few this year.
Yeah, so there's yourself and Rick Roder.
Right, Rick is a friend of mine from the U.S.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think there's a third one here, isn't there?
There is, yeah. I wanted to say before this cuts off that I owe a great deal, both just for being able to be here at all, to both Anne Lamport and especially Charles Page, without whose intercession at immigration I never could have gotten a visa to come here early enough for the pairs, that is before the grand opening of Queensland on the 21st. So Charles really made it possible, and I'm very grateful to him.
Okay, it's been lovely meeting you, and I'll look forward to following your results in the future.
Oh, well, thanks, and thanks for asking me. Very nice meeting you.
Very nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yep.
I'll cut myself out tomorrow.